You have to be okay with telling your children, my mistakes are not your resume.
Yeah. We're going to park it right there because we had that conversation, right?
Yeah. Sunday.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even too long ago.
No.
2 days ago.
It's crazy, though. It's crazy because... No. You talk about how y'all even got into that conversation. You don't need to give no details or whatever, and then we'll continue. Y'all's conversation, the one you had before you came to me.
I went to my friend's house, and everyone left. It was a bunch of us, but at the end of the night, there were only 3 people, and we got into the conversation about parents and their traumas, and them projecting their traumas onto us. Not only that, but also not being able to communicate how not to behave the way they did. Like if they see those bad things that they were doing in us when we were teenagers or whatever, they get so angry. They start lashing out because they don't know how to tell us, I did the same thing and I don't want you to make the same mistake. I'm seeing a lot of who I was in you right now. And the reason that we're here is because I did not listen. So I just need you to listen. But they don't know how to communicate that.
Yeah.
So we end up fighting with our moms. We end up fighting with our dads. And it's just it's a commotion.
You have a period in your life where you dislike your parents.
Yeah.
You love them, but it almost feels like you don't
stand them. Yeah.
Yeah.
You cannot stand them. And it's because of the way we communicate with one another. Like the way we communicate our frustrations to them, the way they communicate their frustration. And it's almost like they're kind of hiding the fact that they did all of these things. They don't want to say, I did all of these things. And that's why I'm preventing you from stopping them. I'm trying to stop you from doing them too. But instead, they're just yelling at us.
Yeah.
And I honestly, I don't want kids, right? But for anyone who wants kids, I think it's so important to be so gentle with your kids and genuinely be open about your mistakes so that they don't make them too, so that your kid doesn't go through a period where they hate you as their mom. You don't want that. I didn't like going through that era. It wasn't even long. But in my head, I think I disliked my mom for like 6 months. But in my head, it feels like, while I was going through it, it felt like years. It felt like years until we finally had the conversation. And I sat down with her and I was like, dude, what is happening with us?
Yeah.
And we apologized to one another. Oh, I cried that day. And I'm a crier. But I cried. I ugly cried that day.
Yeah.
Because she was finally honest with me and she told me, babes, let me tell you, the reason that we are here is because of the mistakes I made in the past. And I don't want you to make the same mistakes. So parents, even you guys, people who don't have kids, talk to your parents about their traumas. Literally sit them down and be as gentle, as open as possible. And be open to listening too. You know, it's not about you just talking and talking.
I think that's the important.
Listen to them.
That's the important one, is because we're all so ready to say something. We all have something to say.
We're defensive.
Nobody wants to listen.
Yeah.
And truth of the matter is, our parents grew up in a time where they know that once they get to a certain age that they're authoritative. Like they're the authority, right? So like have some sort of grace when you have a conversation with your parent, because you know that it's harder for them to understand you than it is for you to understand them. You grew up in a time where you are addressing traumas. They didn't get to do that. So understand your parents, have some sort of grace for them, and try to have a conversation, but do more of the listening. I promise you, it's gonna serve you to just do more of the listening. Say something, but do more of the listening. And for some of you who have the opportunity, I was blessed enough that I had my grandmother break it down for me before I could talk to my mom. She said to me, "Oh, you guys are the same. That's why you're butting heads so much." She gave me the exact same problems at your age, and I was like, "Oh, say that then." Like, you know what I'm saying? And so then it was easier to go back and forgive my mom, forgive myself, because truth of the matter is, I lashed out just because I thought, do you hate me? Like everything I do is not right to you. And I think by that same token, we can relate that to our immature relationships with God. We look to him and think, do you hate me? Why is it that you're not rewarding me for the littlest things that I do? But we're just not mature to understand that we're doing things that are harmful to us. He's just trying to look out for you. So if you do more of the listening, like if you do a lot of listening to your word, just being obedient to God, he's going to lead you the right direction. But we're so busy talking. We're so busy saying, arguing. I need this. I want this from God.
No, you're wrong. I want it
We're
this
busy
way.
trying to be served in his house. Like, what do I look like being served by God? So,
yeah, going to God's house and saying, I want a Big Mac.
It's crazy. No, it's crazy. It's crazy.
All right. Guys, talk to your parents, please.
Yeah, if you have the opportunity. For those of you who don't have that parent, to be able to mend that relationship, forgive them.
And forgive yourself.
Forgive them and forgive yourself for holding that grudge even after they've left.
Yeah.
And I'm so sorry that your heart may probably ache still.
Yeah.
Right? If you don't have a grandparent to have that conversation still, talk to your parent. Aunts. For some of you who have kids, talk to your kids. Please talk to your kids. Me as a kid, I was whooped. I was a bad kid sometimes. I was whooped. And would I want to do that with my kids? Maybe. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like a conversation would do the exact same, it'd be just as effective.
Yeah.
But with you guys right now, you know the mistakes that your parents made with you. Fix them. Fix them with your kids now. I'm talking about right now. I'm not saying try it tomorrow. I'm saying go back home and think, oh, okay, my kid is only a year. What are things that I'm not going to carry forward?
The whole idea of soft parenting is also very cool because parents are not hitting their kids anymore. They're talking to them. And I think that process, that style of parenting is going to prevent a lot of lashing out and hiking.
I don't know. I don't want to get into that because I'm not a parent.
Yeah, me neither.
And I'm not going to tell nobody. That to me, I feel like kids are not actually. She a dog, mom. Like
it's. A dog. Hi, monkey. I love you.
Okay. What I'm saying is, I don't like to tell people what to do with their kids. I'm never going to step over that line. Because what works for you and in your society. You know how brutal it is outside. I cannot tell a father raising a son, a black son in New York, how to raise their son. I couldn't tell you at all because I'm an African woman. The standards are different. The stakes may be higher. Yeah. I don't know. But try certain methods. All I can do is suggest. Try this once in a while. Yeah. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But try it.
Yeah.
Try doing things that you felt you wish your parents did for you. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, I like that.
That's what I'm gonna say. Because you don't wanna continue these generational trauma, brutality and just trauma and curses. You don't want that.
No.
Right?
No. I wasn't beat.
Yeah.
And like I said, the reason that my mom and I were able to get over that hurdle is because we spoke.
Yeah.
We had to sit down and talk. Hey, babes, it's not working out. It's really not working out. So you're absolutely right. Try a different method. If talking doesn't work, bring out a belt.
No. I think I turned out pretty well.
Yeah. I didn't get beat. This is why I'm so. Thanks, Mom. I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.